Hi kids, welcome back to the channel. So I'm back. I guess as you guys watched my last week's video and I was having my mental breakdown because YouTube was deleting my channel, I took a few days and there's still some work I need to do, but one thing I can report is my mom apologized and made me feel a lot better. I love my parents. There's nothing, I guess they're just trying their best, and I guess parents, for you, people make mistakes and you just need to say you're sorry and do better. So I'll be getting some counseling in the meantime, and I hope to work on my mental health in the future. So today's video, I want to do the assumptions tag properly. You guys sent me over 54 questions, and in my previous video I only answered a handful, so I wanted to make a second video to answer all your questions because I think you guys deserve, if you took the time to write me any assumptions, I feel it's only fair that I respond to them. So this is that video. So let's start. So on to our first assumption. A fan said, when I had just discovered your channel a few months back, I used to assume that you're gay or bi, just anything than completely straight. Guys, I'm straight. Yeah, I'm straight. I've been straight all my life. I think I figured out I was straight the minute when you're watching sexy films, I completely ignore the guy. And I think I've been straight all my life. I love women. I've always loved women, and yes, I'm straight. I'm not bi. I'm not straight. Fully straightest man you'll find. Second assumption, mine isn't an assumption. Mine is to say thank you for all the tea you spill and keeping us posted on everything. You're also quite open-minded, and I like that. Thank you. Yes, I think we all should be more open-minded and tolerant of each other because the world is a very complicated place, so you can't have just one mindset and be stubborn with the certain ideas you've learned and accrued throughout your life. You have to expand your mind and be open to different ideas and how people live differently. So on to our next assumption. Maureen said, you can forgive your partner for cheating because you're a hopeless romantic. Yes, I have forgiven all my partners. Everyone I've ever dated, I've forgiven all of them for cheating on me, but not because I'm a hopeless romantic, but because I think it's a complicated question. The first time someone ever cheated on me, like, it hurt. It hurt a lot, and I think I forgave them, or I'm not sure if I forgave them at the time, but like, I wanted them back just because I was so afraid to lose them. I was so used to having a girlfriend. I was so used to this person being in my life, this person being someone I talk to. And when you're so used to one person and your energies flow through each other, and then someone takes away this person who's your best friend, who's someone you actually love, I felt it was more painful to lose them than the cheating. So I guess I try to forgive them as fast as I can so that they can stay with me, but I realized it was a mistake. And as you guys saw that story time, I forgave them. I asked them back. I literally begged them to come back to me, and they still said no. So at this point of my life, cheating, to me, I don't take it necessarily as a mistake. Cheating is a choice. If you choose to be unfaithful to your partner, that says a lot about you and what you think of that relationship, or what you think that other person is worth to you. If you think you can just cheat on a person and they will be still there, or it seems you're highly delusional. You're highly delusional. So at this point in my life, if you cheat on me, that's one of my deal breakers. That is cheating is not just cheating. There's so much that goes on behind that. Is it you don't want to be with me? Is it you feel I'm not enough for you? Was there something I wasn't giving to you? Were you bored? There's so much behind the cheating that I think if you get to that point, then really you ended it yourself. On to our next question. Esther said, I must admit, when I first saw you through the screen on my phone, of course, I assumed this dude used to be a big time player. Let me see if you'll give some tips in the game of dating. When in reality, you gave more than tips. You showed it's okay to be vulnerable, and this journey of dating and love is real. Esther, I am not a player. I've never been a player, never. I don't know how guys manage more than 2 girlfriends. Like, it just seems like a lot of work. It really seems like a lot of work. Yeah, I've not been a player, but yes, I am no saint. I've also made a lot of mistakes in my life. I have cheated once. And so I do contest the idea that once a cheater, always a cheater, because I cheated once and I've never cheated again. It's been now 8-9 years. I've never cheated on a single person ever again. I think I find it interesting, and I find it like you cannot take advice about something from someone who's never experienced it. So take it from me. I know what I'm talking. When I talk about cheating, and I know what I'm talking about. I have cheated on someone and I've been cheated on, and the first time I actually cheated on a person, like I felt so terrible. Like at the time when it's happening, you feel it feels good, it's exciting, but once you leave that room and you go home and you figure out what you've just done, that you've just thrown away your entire relationship over a small 15 seconds, 20 seconds. And the first time I cheated, like I had to break up with my girlfriend because I could not stand with the guilt. I could not sit with it. It really hurt me deep inside to have cheated on someone I really cared about, and I felt it was only right to break it off because I did not want to keep lying to the person. And something else I'm not very proud of is when I cheated, I never told her. I never told her. I just never told her. I just broke up with her, and I've never said it. I've never actually said it out loud to her, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Maybe she'll never say this, but I've regretted it, and it was a lesson for me. It was a lesson, and I've never cheated on anyone else again, and I will never ever cheat on anyone else ever. So live and learn. You live and learn. So I guess what I can tell 8-9 years ago Edgar is I wish nigga you took responsibility for what you did. And I am sure I hurt her, because I'm sure this came as a surprise to her, and yeah, should have taken responsibility of her actions. So this assumption comes from Sharon. She says, first of all, I had weird assumptions about you before I actually get to watch your videos. I thought you're just a weirdo. Like, honestly, I don't think you'd make sense like you've always done. Secondly, I assume that you will take a very long time to think of a meetup with Sharon. So thank you, Sharon. Guys, the story is this subscriber called Sharon. She's been asking for a coffee date from me for quite some time, and Sharon, DM me again. We'll do the coffee. Before, I was hesitant about saying yes, because I guess these are people in the internet. You just don't want to make yourself available, because who knows, people could be serial killers, or or people could be just crazy, and you don't want to put yourself in situations where you're meeting someone you've never met in the first place. And it's just, I guess, me being in the public, I just need to be more careful. Like, I really need to be more careful. But fine, you've asked a third time, and fine, DM me again. We'll do coffee. DM me again. We'll do coffee. But I hate coffee, so we'll do juice. Anyway, on to the next assumption. This assumption is from Agnes. You'll move back to Europe later on in life, and you grew up abroad. Agnes, I guess, I don't know what might happen in future, but I'm not against. I want to live where I'm most happy, and at this point of my life I live in Kenya because this is the most happiest I have been in some time, and I really like living in Kenya. Maybe in future I might move to another country, but it will all depends on what are my circumstances. The life is limitless possibilities, and you live where you most feel at home. And I guess in my situation, if I'm ever going to move, I think I'll move because of a person. Move because of love. I'll move because of love. So yeah. And your second assumption that I grew up abroad, no. I grew up in Kenya. I grew up in Kenya until, like, most of my life. I was in Kenya until the age of 25. I never boarded a plane ever, and I've been in Kenya for most of my life. I grew up in, where did I grow up? I grew up in Zimmerman. I grew up in Embakasi. I also grew up in Umoja. So those are the three areas of Nairobi I've grown up. So on to our next assumption by Black Drama. You are a ladies' man because you look like the least problematic guy ever. Black Drama, I'm not a ladies' man. I think, yeah, I'm not a ladies' man. I date very few people in my lifetime. I've dated very few people in my lifetime, and I think I'm those people who I'm into one person, and I'm into one person during a certain duration, and if it works out, great. I am problematic. I have my own issues. I am sensitive. I am petty sometimes. I make mistakes like any other person can make mistakes. But I think one thing I can credit, or one thing I've learned from the relationships I've been in, is how to be self-aware, recognize your own shit, own up to it, apologize, and move on and move forward. No one is perfect. We all make mistakes, and we live and we learn as we go. And this is one thing, like, I'm very grateful for all the women I've dated in my life. They have taught me something, and they have helped me evolve into a very interesting and worthwhile human being. So yeah, how I am right now is thanks to my experiences in my relationships, and even my relationship with my parents. I think at this point I apologize because so many times the people I've dated, they did not apologize to me. So I know how it feels like to accept apologies you'll never receive. So I take it upon myself to say I'm sorry whenever I realize I've wronged a person. Even if it's, I did something wrong to you 6 months ago, if I realize later that I did this to you and it was wrong, I will call you up and tell you I'm sorry. I will literally call you up and tell you I'm sorry. There's no expiration on apologies. So on to our next assumption. This is from Esther. She says that someone conned you while you are looking for a house in Kenya. I love your content, by the way. Thank you, Esther. No one conned me when I was looking for an apartment. They almost got me. They almost got me. But I guess I'm at a point where money is very scarce. So like, I'm very careful with what I pay for. So this is why they couldn't call me. But at the time I realized I was very desperate, and I guess I was just sitting by the phone waiting for that call for anyone to offer me an apartment, because you know how it is when you're homeless. I guess you're looking for a place and you need a place right now, and it's, guys, be careful. There are a lot of scammers in Kenya. Be careful. Our next assumption is from Melan. She says, I assume you look up to Christian or Madam G. Have noticed the similarity of your content to his. And Melan, yes, I do look up to Christian Madam G. I love the way he makes his content, but I would not say our content is not that similar. Like I can say like I've been inspired with what he does on the internet, but if you really look up his content, what he does, so many other people do on the internet, just the same. But creators I'm inspired by are Christian Madam G. I'm inspired by Shane Dawson. I'm inspired by MKBHD. I'm inspired by Casey Neistat. Like, these are creators I love and would really like to level up my content to have as great quality production and great ideas and tell good stories, because it's all about creating good content, and I'd love to create content that I'm proud of and that you guys love. So look out for my progress. Good stuff is coming. Good stuff is coming. These assumptions came from Jane. She said you are kissy. I don't know why everyone thinks I'm kissy. I am. Maybe it's my second name, Obare. No, I am not kissy. I am Kenyan. Yes, guys, I'm Kenyan. I am not kissy. I am Kenyan. Let's leave it at that. Next assumptions come from Irene, that you're good with words, always know what to say, and that you make someone feel better even without knowing it. Would I even know? I don't think I always know what to say. Like, I've met very few people who always know what to say. And there was this guy called Victor in my high school. He used to never get in trouble because you can never catch him in the wrong or anything. Everything you ask him, wait, did you do this? He always has a response. Did you do this? He always has a comeback. And I think he's in jail now because you can't be that. Anyway, besides the point, I don't know. I don't always know what to say, but with time and with experience, I've learned how to talk to people, and I think I talk to people, I treat people how I would like to be treated and how I would like to hear things. So I make sure to, I guess, make someone be able to relate, or make someone be able to understand where I'm coming from, what I mean, and explain things in a simple way to people. So yeah, there it is. Okay, next, Njesh. You're bougie but down to earth. Oh yeah. I'm so bougie. I'm so okay. I wish I could afford the closet that I feel like I deserve. I wish I could afford the lifestyle that I think I deserve. Yes, I'm bougie, but I'm also humble. I guess one of the things I've always been grateful for is that my family is not rich. I've always been grateful my family is not rich because it taught me the importance of hard work, the importance of not having everything handed to you. So it made me not lazy. It made me appreciate every single cent I've ever made. I've always appreciated every progress I've made in life, and that's one of the things I've always been grateful for. My family was not rich, so I was able to learn how to appreciate things and be content with what I have. I am humble. I can get on a matatu. I think in my apartment in the first month, I think last month, that was July, like I couldn't afford putting a kitchen in the house, so I used to eat out every day, and there are these kibandas around my area, so my budget for the day was 100 for every meal. So I used to go downstairs and with my little lunchbox and I guess get some ugali, skuma and nyama, or rice and stew. And in the mornings I used to eat this mandazi is called KDF. Do you guys know this KDF? Yeah, I used to eat KDFs every month, KDF and a packet of milk, the 200 ml. So yeah, it's good to be humble. It's good to be able to live within your means. And if you live in Kenya, sometimes you just need to adapt. You just need to adapt. I assume that you're still in love with Washera, or both of you are low-key dating. Lynette, okay, then since the Washera question always comes, I believe that people you've loved, you never really stop loving them. Like Washera will always have a place in my heart, will always have a place in my life, and will always have a place in my memories. We are not dating anymore. We are friends, and we like to keep it like that. I wouldn't say we, but yes, we both decided to be and stay friends, and for this time in our lives, we are friends. And I wish her the best. She wishes me the best. As you guys, if you watch my channel and her channel, you see we comment on each other's videos. We support each other in whatever we are doing. Sometimes we need to talk. We just talk, and there's nothing wrong being friends with your exes. I guess you can't just throw away people at will or pretend they do not exist anymore. So I hope that answers your question. Next assumption is from Davin. They said, hehe, ulifanya makosa kuleta hii. So this is my assumption. You can't do a collab with a small YouTuber. Pia, you're not that friendly. Haya nimeenda. That is a lie. I can't do collabs with smaller YouTubers. I ask you guys all the time to send me your ideas for projects you feel like doing, and I will look into it. And I think, I'm not sure if this person Davin has DM'd me, but most of you send me requests and you send me such boring ideas, and I wonder why. Like get creative, like please. Like if you're going to DM a YouTuber and want a collab, like me, one of the questions I will ask you is, first, why do you want to collab? Most of you, almost 90% of the time, they tell me they're just doing it for subscribers, and I keep trying to reiterate this and convince you guys that collaborations will not get you subscribers that you think. You might get 5, 20, 30, 50, but it will not get you that massive following that you feel like. It's more important to focus on your content and actually make content that the audience that you already have loves. Keep making that content and evolving and creating more, because collabs do not necessarily help you that much. And some people are usually another question I usually ask is, why does this video need 2 YouTubers? Why does this video actually need 2? But if you can answer that for me, if you can answer both these 2 questions, then I'm more likely to collaborate with you. And if you give me a great idea, I'm down to shoot. Kemunto Bear, she DM'd me, I collabed with her. You guys have seen the video. I've also collabed with Andrew Gonji, and he's a fun guy, has very great ideas, and is willing to put in the effort, and he edits very well. So if you want to collaborate with me, send me a good idea, something that you've actually really thought of. Don't just send me, I want to collab because I want subscribers, and you collab me and you don't even know what you want to shoot. It's like you're putting it on me to think of a good idea so that I help. Like, what? Does that make sense to you? Anyway, on to our next assumption. Miss Carey says, I assume you stutter. Talking through YouTube helps you somehow correct that. Yes, Miss Carey, I stutter, I stammer, I forget the words I'm saying sometimes. Sometimes I jumble up sentences. Sometimes I fuck up in a video. But it's more important that you actually put yourself out there, do the work, talk, even if I'm talking and it's not so perfect, even if my voice is not that soothing to you, even if I don't have this magical voice and this deep bass and this exciting and poppy, but I have a story and I want to tell it, and I'll tell it best I know how. Have you guys ever seen Elon Musk? Elon Musk is not the best presenter. He's not very eloquent or blah blah, but that does not stop him. He does a press conference and you see him struggling, but he pushes on and pushes on and pushes on. And that's what I try to do the best I can. I may not have the best voice. You might not like what I have to say. You may not like my voice. You may not like how I say it. I may not be how anchors on TV are. But I have a story to tell, and I'm not afraid to put myself out there and make all these mistakes. But I hope at the end of the day you get my point. You understand what I was trying to put across, and I guess this is just what life is. We all not perfect. We all have our issues and our flaws, but it's more important to push through that and just don't let it stop you. Don't let it stop you. Then our last assumption is from Phoebe. She says, I assume you don't know your mother tongue. Phoebe, no. Let's say I know like 20% of my mother tongue. I can understand a lot of my mother, I can understand 20%, but I can't speak it because I think I grew up in Nairobi, and in my house we always just spoke English and Swahili, so I wasn't exposed that much to my mother tongue. But I would love to understand more and get to know more about my mother tongue, because I guess I am Kenyan and I need to speak my own Kenyan language. So that's all from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this part 2 of reading your assumptions about me. I hope I did it justice, and I hope I've answered all your questions and assumptions. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.